Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the number one place for people who love design, art and all things creative. I'm Jacqueline and I'm an interior architect and designer here at D&B, and today's video is all about interior design mistakes I see a lot and how to fix them. This video is actually a follow-up from one I did a while ago, but don't worry, I'll leave that at the end in case you haven't checked it out yet. But this one is all about 7 brand new points that I think are big design no-nos. And just to be transparent with you guys, I've tried to develop the video in a way that's not subjective because like I said in the previous video, I'm not here to bash your personal design style, I'm just here to help bring out the best in your home. A lot of times I see interior designers force their design style and preferences onto clients, and that's kind of the opposite way that I like to work. Every home and interior should be completely different and match the owner's personality and their own style, in my opinion. And maybe you're not 100% in love with your current interior, but you're not quite sure why. So hopefully this video clears all those things up so that you know how to fix the current problems in your home. Because God knows we all want to change and fix things in our homes, even interior designers. And in order for you guys to achieve the dream interior you're after, I've come up with this helpful list that will hopefully give you inspiration for your future design choices. So if you're interested, let's jump in. So let's get started with the first mistake I see a lot, which is either having too much furniture or not enough. Oftentimes we tend to keep purchasing furniture and home decor whilst we're out shopping, and over time that does tend to accumulate to the point where you take a step back and realise, I can barely move around my living room. And really I'm talking about where there's so much furniture, decorations and just utter that takes up the majority of the floors and walls to the point where you're struggling to navigate around the space. Or on the flip side, there's not enough furniture, and I think that tends to happen with people who decorate in a modern or minimalist style because they think less is more. Which for those styles can absolutely be true, but sometimes the less is more approach can make a space feel austere, cold and lack any kind of homely vibe. So then we have a dilemma of either too much clutter or not enough. Or maybe right now you're thinking, I don't know if I have too much furniture or not enough. My easy fix for this is to focus on the circulation of the space. In interior and architecture terms, circulation refers to the space containing pathways. For example, a common pathway in a house would be from the front door to the entranceway and then leading up the stairs to the first floor. We actually tend to spend a long time on the spatial planning of a project because we map out different furniture configurations to try see which one works best. You could easily draw a circulation diagram of your space and see if there's either furniture blocking a walkway or a walkway that's too narrow. Essentially, you're mapping out every possible path that someone could walk. A good rule of thumb is to make sure that you don't feel crammed or squashed walking between 2 pieces of furniture. Contrastingly, if there's too much of a gap where I would say you could fit 4 people in between 2 pieces of furniture, that's where I would say you can add a bit more, just so that the space doesn't feel so vacant. This mistake fixes any current obstructions in your interior so that users can flow easily throughout your home. Moving on to design mistake number 2, which is picking the wrong sofa. Most of us buy sofas based on 2 factors, aesthetics and comfort. But there is a lot more to think about, such as function. It may seem pretty obvious, but you need a sofa to sit all the household members, so think practically and decide on a number. The sofa shape is also a key factor. Recently, I've noticed these curvaceous settees taking over Instagram and Pinterest, and I think we can all agree that they are classy, chic, whilst also being contemporary. However, if I'm really going to spill the tea, they're not that comfortable. That sofa could be good if you have a sitting room or entertaining space, but it's probably not the best choice if you want to sit on it and read for 4 hours. Actually, a pet peeve of mine, which is constantly a trope on interior design reality TV shows, is that they'll make over an interior, in particular the living room, and conjure up this kind of configuration, which of course will always look beautiful, but it's not practical for the homeowners who watch TV with their kids every day. The sofas don't even face the direction of the TV, or there is literally no TV factored into the design. So if you spend a lot of time relaxing in the living room and watching films as a family, then I would recommend a sofa that has a deep seat and lots of cushioning. And lastly, think about the sofa arm height, because that can actually make or break the comfort of a sofa. Personally, I like quite high armrests so that I can also use it as a back to lean on, and really low armrests are pretty annoying and uncomfortable for me. But you may really like that, so just make sure to take into account the look, comfort level, function, shape, and armrest height. My third interior design mistake is buying expensive furniture that could be designer, but it doesn't have to be, before looking for dupes. I think that people assume that designer products will have a better quality than that of chain store items, but that is not always the case. Take it from me, a lot of mainstream shops actually have great quality products, and I always think if they have a dupe of a much more expensive one, yet it's completely identical, then why wouldn't you choose the much cheaper option? It just makes financial sense to me. My advice is only to really splurge on items that have intricate or really detailed patterns. But overall, 9 times out of 10, you will be able to find a cheaper version of pretty much the same product. So just make sure to really do some scouting online before committing to an expensive piece of furniture. Now, my next point is not that common because I think a lot of people tend to do this the right way, but it's excluding plants in your interior. I'm not 100% sure these people even exist, but if you do, think about adding real houseplants to your home. Having plants in your home improves your mood, decreases stress, improves your air quality, and they're just overall really pretty. I like to use a mixture of both small and large plants as accent pieces to a space because I really do think it revives the interior and also gives it a fresh aspect too. And what's brilliant about this tip is that it can work in literally any interior design style. Minimal, coastal, bohemian, Victorian, whatever your preference, there is a houseplant that will fit in perfectly. And if you're not sure which ones to choose, I have a whole video of my top 8 houseplants and how to care for them. Okay, whilst we're on the topic of design styles, the next point I want to mention is not having a clue what your design style is. Meaning you're not clear on the definition of your sense of style. Do you like an Art Deco look, modern farmhouse, or maximalist? I hope this isn't coming off as pretentious because that's really not my intent, but I just find that once you're clear on your design style, it then becomes so easy to find home inspiration. Because let's face it, you can't design something beautiful if you have no kind of plan. No inspiration leads to matching sets. And even if you like certain pieces of home decor and furniture individually, once combined, it's never going to really look completely cohesive altogether. I know it can be really hard to decipher what styles you like and the official name of your style, which is why I do different design style videos here on the channel. And initially I actually wanted to do just one titled something like how to find your design style, but when I started doing it, I realized that I actually needed to do individual videos on each style. Otherwise it would have been like a 5-hour video. So my first piece of advice is to look out for videos like that, and secondly, look up related keywords in Google Images. For example, type in pink sofa into Google Images, and once you find something like this, click on the See More option here. That will then generate more similar images and important keywords will start to appear, which will then hopefully define your style. And side note, I find that Pinterest is only really good once you know your specific style, so hold back on Pinteresting until you have a precise definition. My next piece of advice concerns lighting, and in particular pendant lights. This may seem pretty obvious, but hanging ceiling lights too low is such a common design mistake that can easily be fixed by buying flush pendants instead that are much closer to the ceiling, buying a cord adjuster, or just shortening the cord itself. And also, if you want your interior to flow better with lighting, then try following feng shui principles. One, for example, is to not have long ceiling lights above the bed, as the chi from the fixture is always pointing down towards you and may cause a disturbed night's sleep. Now, by no means am I a feng shui expert, I'm definitely not, but Julie is over on her channel, so I'll leave her channel linked in the description. Really low pendant lights disturb the space, and also they're really easy to bump your head into, so just make sure that they're closer to the ceiling. My last design mistake is The most common by far in my opinion, and it's when the sofa is placed too far away from the TV. I think a lot of you will agree with me that the TV is a focal point in a lot of our living spaces, so therefore it makes sense for our sofas to point in that direction. However, because of that, what we all tend to do is push our sofas right up against the wall, even if that means it's really far away from the TV. In this case, the solution is either to have a massive TV screen and create almost like a cinema room, or my other option would be to zone your space into different areas. Bring the sofa forward more and the other half of the space can be used for something else. Remember, just because there's a wall there, it doesn't mean that you have to glue it to the sofa. I know it can be kind of daunting to split your living room into two different zones because we're not really accustomed to doing that unless you have an open plan layout. But by doing it, it will allow the space to feel less sparse and create a harmonious atmosphere for you to enjoy. I actually have a whole playlist with interior design and home decor tips, so I'll leave that link down in the description for you guys. And if you're new here, then I just want to welcome you to our channel where we talk about interior design, home decor, and all that cool creative stuff in between. So if any of that interests you, feel free to subscribe. Or if you're already one of our subscribers, then I would love if you left me a comment about what you'd love to see on the channel. I really do read all of your comments and listen to your suggestions, so any ideas for videos would be great. I hope that this video helped out with your own interior design mistakes, and I really appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!